What is that one fact you know that always makes people respond, and why the frick do you know that? That you should always use 2 hands to pick up a severed human head. Human heads weigh about as much as a standard size bowling ball, but unlike bowling balls, they are not perfectly spherical. Therefore, gravity is not evenly distributed across the entire head, so they have a tendency to topple out of your hand if you try to hold them with just one. And nobody wants to be the person who drops a severed head. Too late, but here it goes. Don't ever bury a dead body in an area without any vegetation. The high nitrogen content in our bodies helps plant to grow, and there will be a weird grassy patch at the top of burial site and anyone would be able to spot it. So that's why the neighbors' lawns look so much better than mine. If you feed a human body to pigs, they will eat just about all of it except the teeth. Several murderers in rural areas have used this fact to their advantage. That you cannot burn toddlers alive in The Sims 4 even if you make a building full of fire and put 7 toddlers in the burning building for hours. If you're allergic to chocolate, you're usually allergic to cockroaches. Opossums eat ticks like we eat potato chips. They'll hoover up 5,000 ticks a week and never get Lyme disease themselves. That you can disembowel yourself if you lift weights that are too heavy. Happened to my high school gym teacher. Said he's never felt anything quite like eating out your intestines. The stringy things inside bananas are called phloem bundles. They allow the nutrients of the banana to travel the length of the fruit. They are kinda like the vascular system of the plant. I don't want to know I'm peeling away banana veins. The fox has many different vocalizations, including a mating call that sounds like the Hollywood representation of a woman being murdered in the middle of the night. In ancient Babylon, people would build their most valuable possessions, fine wine, among others, into the walls of their basement, which in the region was usually a naturally occurring cave, so when the taxman came he couldn't see it to count it. You can rearrange the letters in Clint Eastwood's Old West action, no leftovers. Ancient Egyptians used to shave off their eyebrows to mourn the death of their cats. Please don't say this where my cat can find out and put even more weird pressure on me. Polar bear liver has lethal concentrations of vitamin A. Bee tests explode when they finish, and they die. Finish living with a bang. Can bees do anything without dying afterward? Bees only die when stinging humans. Our skin is too thick, but if they sting another insect they don't RIP off their stingers. Edit. It's mammals in general, but apparently it's only honeybees that this affects. The more you know. YKK makes 97% of the world's zippers. My music teacher in elementary school made a song and the lyrics were, "Why do all the zippers in the world say YKK? And add 25, I still wonder when I look at them." Mount Kilimanjaro is the tallest mountain with cell service. A human tooth has 36 calories. I'm hungry clenches jaws. 1152 calories. Look at Mr. Badass with all of his teeth. Wombats have cubed poop. A lobster's brain is in its throat. Pythagoras from the Pythagorean theorem ran a cult, and another group came to come and murder him by locking him inside his house and setting it on fire. But instead he had his followers make a human ladder to escape the fire, but then abandoned them and they all died. He was murdered later that night being chased by the group in a bean field. A Russian woman had a red ton of triplets, twins, and quadruplets, with the same man totaling up to 69 children. Birds need gravity to swallow, so a bird in space would die very soon. Edit. I understand there's no oxygen in space, but by that logic humans couldn't survive in space either. I meant if they had spacesuits like humans do. All except pigeons, which have the unique ability among birds to swallow via suction. The first 1080p video on YouTube was the Muppets singing Bohemian Rhapsody. A 2008 Prius can float, at least for short distances. Car was not damaged in any way. A nursing sperm whale's milk comes out in the consistency of cottage cheese so the calf can eat it in the water. Most victims in survivable plane crashes died of jet fuel burning and choking them. Smoke hoods could save hundreds of lives if installed on airplanes. Likely many more than flotation devices since stitching is incredibly rare. Bonus: backwards facing seats would make a plane crash much easier to survive thanks to the G-forces pressing you against the seat instead. Owls have tube-shaped eyes, rather than spherical ones. This makes it difficult to move the eyes in their sockets, but is counteracted by the ability to rotate their heads 270 degrees in either direction. If you're a woman revolted by the smell of your guy's gin bag, but find yourself sometimes aroused by it, that's when you're ovulating. The fact that mushrooms are more genetically related to humans than they are to trees. Rat poison is actually an anticoagulant mixed with stuff like fiberglass because rats are always scraping and squeezing into stuff. They build up these minor injuries. The anticoagulant stops their blood from clotting properly and they internally hemorrhage to death. Since a human being is a lot bigger than a rat poison is much less effective on us. The machineal tree is the deadliest plant in human history. If you want to burn down a building, put potato chips in a toaster with a trail leading from the toaster to other highly flammable things. The potato chips leave no residue and the toaster will pop back up after the chips catch fire, so there's no way to find the start of the fire. Bones can be some of the most effective and terrifying shrapnel, second only to liquid copper. Bones splinter when you put them in bombs, and can do horrific amounts of damage to soft tissues. Liquid copper, on the other hand, which is not that difficult to get in an explosion, can get through almost any armor like it's nothing. Learned that from a friend who did a tour in Iraq as an infantryman. On the 762nd digit of pi there are 6 nines in a row. The heart, if perfused through the aorta with an appropriate solution, will beat 4 hours outside of the body. And they have invented some kind of heart-esque arrangement that allows this to happen while they transport the heart to the transplant hospital. I worked on that project. It's really cool. They use an ECMO circuit to oxygenate blood as it goes into the aorta. Perfusing backwards through the aorta pushes the blood through the coronaries, and it drains out the RV to be reused in the circuit. It's not used in people yet, but they've had up to 72 hours with the heart beating in a box outside an animal. They do have a really cool machine that does something similar for lungs and can be used to rescue lungs from DCD patients and recondition them for transplant. At a single time, the sloth's body mass can be comprised of 1/3 feces. It takes several hours for the sloth to excrete its bowels completely. Terminal velocity of an ant is around 3.9 miles per hour. The skin on your lips is the same type of skin as the skin on your butthole. An adult's collarbone will break with 8 pounds of perpendicular force. A child's breaks at 12 pounds. Lemons are a cross between a citron and a bitter orange. Either they were a rare naturally occurring hybrid or they were man-made, in which case, life does not give you lemons. A bear fought in the Polish army in World War II. The cub was discovered by Polish prisoners in the mountains of Iran. They taught him how to puff and swallow cigarettes. Even taught him learned how to turn on communal showers, pick up recruits, and carried empty ammunition crates on the front lines. Gorillas have the smallest to body ratio, further proof I share a common ancestor with them. Hershey's Kisses are called that because the machine that makes them looks like it's kissing the conveyor belt. You can carry a knife in an airport if it's under 6 centimeters. To be fair, most airports are bigger than that. According to some cannibals, the most delicious part of the human body are the eyeballs. They like licking them. If you fly a lot and want to be an a-hole and never pay for a drink or food while in the air, use a credit card that is deactivated and declines. The Wi-Fi in the air doesn't pick it up until it's processed days later. Literally, you can do this every time. Pro tip, make sure the date on the card hasn't expired and it's free cabs and whiskers the entire plane ride. Every single time. Source, I used to date a flight attendant. It's pretty common knowledge. TNT stands for trinitrotoluene. I remember cause I really like the way trinitrotoluene sounds. Trinitrotoluene. That Denmark had an ad called Do It for Denmark to try and increase their population. That's all for today's video. Hope you guys liked it. If you liked the video, subscribe. If you want to support the channel, the best thing you can do is simply watch the videos. But if you really want to see the channel thrive, subscribe, like, comment, add to favorites, add to playlist, and share with friends. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Reddit and Insta. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you with tomorrow's upload.